The May 2022 elections are not as far off as you think. In 8 months, those with political ambitions will file their certificates of candidacy. And then the campaign officially begins. These may all likely happen with COVID-19 still changing the way we do things. So 2022 will be your vote for public health and economic recovery. But before you can vote, you need to register because there's only so much your opinions on social media can do.
We will make it easier for everyone to register.
Registration has been extended to Saturdays to accommodate more people, especially young voters.
You encourage everyone to register to vote.
Because in as much as every vote counts, every voter counts.
I'm Hontiveros will be asking the hard questions for stories that matter to you. Front and center is the Filipino voter. The many ways the pandemic is changing 2022 from voter registration to casting your ballot. Rally more people to register and vote during a public health crisis. And how the political landscape is shaping up amid an outcry for better pandemic response. In 1 year and 3 months, the country will elect new leaders. The COMELEC says elections will push through regardless of the pandemic possibly dragging on until and even beyond May 9, 2022. Front and center now is COMELEC Chairman Sharif Abbas. Chairman Abbas, thank you very much for joining us on the show. Well, let's begin with this, Chairman. Let's talk about the COMELEC's campaign to get people to register. Why is this so important, Chairman?
Yes, good day, Ms. Pia. No? The voter registration is very important, especially so na malapit na po yung election natin. And I think it's more than a year na lang. Then, syempre, kailangan magparehistro po yung mga tao to participate in the upcoming 2022 election. So, very important po yun. Lalo na ngayon na presidential, we expect that the turnout will be more than 70%. So, kailangan po, lalo na yung mga first-time registrant natin, sana magparehistro po na sila.
Oo. So hindi lang first-time registrant, Chairman, ang concern po natin, kundi yung mga na-deactivate. Is this correct, Chairman? 7 million voters deactivated because they failed to vote in the last 2 elections, and these are the people who need to register again. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, that is correct, Pia. No? Yung mga na-deactivate, more or less nasa 700,000 yung aming data dyan. Kasali dyan, Pia, yung mga namatay, okay? So, but ang karamihan dyan is yung failed to vote. So, ito na rin pagkakataon nila to re-register at makaboto sa 2022.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Chairman, every election time, no, kapag approaching na election, palagi namang ang sasabihin ng mga tao, saka na ako magre-rehistro para bang maghihintay until the last minute. Ano po yung benefit ba ng early registration? Ngayon pa lang, mag-register na po tayo. How will that be helpful?
Malaki po yung benefit if it is early. Unang-una, pandemic po ngayon, sana maiwasan natin yung mga last-minute registration para maiwasan natin yung kumpul-kumpul sa mga election offices namin na PIA. Mahalaga po na medyo magpa-early po sila dahil nga po sa pandemic. Pangalawa, kailangan early po tayo kasi magkakandak pa ng validation yung every election officer at kakandak pa sila ng ERB hearing, yung tinatawag na exclusion or inclusion. So sasalain pa yan, Pia, hindi yan automatic na kapag naparegister ka, automatic tatanggapin ka sa sistema. So meron po tayong tinatawag na ERB hearing, sasalain pa po kung sino yung mga final na mga registrant sa particular place.
Okay, so better to register early. Chairman Abbas, can you tell us about yung mga rules, no? Kasi people think it's very complicated. There are rules for those who are going to be new voters or sa transfer registration or yung mga deactivated voters. Can we go very quickly through that?
Yes, Pia, very simple lang po naman yung registration natin. Ang importante po doon, yung personal appearance ng tao. Pangalawa, dapat registered voter siya. Qualified siya kumbaga sa edad at yung sa residence requirement niya. Pangalawa, yung ID lang. Okay? Any government ID na po pwedeng magpapatunay na siya yung taong yon at residente siya ng particular place. So, pwede na siyang magparehistro. And then pupunta lang sila sa election officers or offices ng COMELEC at iba-validate lang naman yung identity nila. And then meron lang silang mga forms na i-fill up and then kukunan sila ng biometrics. Doon, ganun lang kasimple yan, Tia. So, walang hassle doon sa pagpaparehistro.
No hassle registration. Chairman Abbas, sa October, filing of certificates of candidacy ng mga kandidato. So we expect hindi na po siya fiesta dahil pandemic nga po, hindi po ba?
Hindi natin masabi, Pia, kung hindi sa fiesta, no? Imagine if this is a presidential election, president down to the village council, magpa-file po sila ng candidacy. So makita ninyo naman, every presidential election, mas madami po yung mga position at stake. So hindi natin pwedeng sabihin dahil pandemic, hindi magiging fiesta. Kaya po dapat kailangan ma-establish pa rin natin yung minimum health protocols natin, lalo na sa pandemic. But again, Pia, we expect na talagang dadami pa din kung magpa-file ng COC.
Okay. Chairman, of course, kung if we apply minimum health standards doon sa filing of certificates of candidacy, sa registration, same goes po, hindi po ba? Sa campaigning, sa campaign period, February, March hanggang May, tapos on election day. We understand, Chairman, na pinag-uusapan na ng COMELEC ng masinsinan the new rules, what's going to happen in the campaign, on the campaign trail. For example, no more pressing the flesh, small town hall meetings, online campaigning. Can you give us an idea what it's going to look like?
Yes, doon sa campaign, Tia, ayusin pa namin kung ano yung magiging itsura or magiging policy natin on the campaign. But on the filing, pinag-iisipan namin na, Pia, yung online filing. So para at least yung mga kandidato, hindi na sila pupunta sa mga COMELEC offices. So isa yun na tinitingnan natin on the filing. On the campaign naman, titingnan din natin yung mga online campaign. Although maraming mga kandidato ang nag-voice out na medyo hindi po siya pantay, mas lamang yung mayayaman just in case air campaign. But again, lahat nito, Pia, tinitingnan pa natin. Kaya nang sinabi ko, we already created a special committee. Ang tutok lang, Pia, itong pandemic na to. So, meron kaming special committee headed by Commissioner Ko. Ang kanyang trabaho lang is ano yung mga best practices, ano yung mga protocols na pwede nating ilatag sa lahat ng process ng election, from filing, from campaign hanggang election day na, Pia. So that is why kami sa COMELEC talagang ginagather namin yung mga best practices ng ibang lugar na nag-election na, like the US, even yung mga election ng Myanmar, kahit magulo yun, tinitingnan din namin yung best practices nila, the Singapore election. Lahat ng mga best practices sa labas, ginagather namin yung pinaka pwedeng natin gamitin. So, meron po kaming special committee na nag-aaral dyan. And of course, that special committee is coordinating with the IATF at saka yung mga ating health experts para sa gayon, talagang safe po yung ating electoral process.
So at least, Chairman Abbas, we can say na kahit hindi pa po natin alam ang mga detalye, sigurado po na yung May 9, 2022 election day will be very different from all the past elections, and we can expect perhaps mail-in voting, extended voting periods na hindi lang halimbawa isang araw, hindi lang within 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Yes, Pia, magiging iba po talaga kasi nung tinitingnan namin, inaaral namin, mukhang aabutin po talaga tayo. Titingnan natin, Pia, kung magiging effective yung mga health protocols na nilatag natin dito sa Palawan plebiscite on March 13. So, but honestly, medyo ibang-iba talaga, Pia. Tama ka, ibang-iba yung magiging itsura ng ating eleksyon.
Yes. Chairman Abbas, we have less than a minute, so I'm going to go very quickly. May mga tanong kasi, 3-4 na tanong sa mga netizens. Number one, halimbawa, and very quickly lang na lang po yung mga sagot po ninyo. From Christian Buenaobra, nakakatakot pumunta sa Comelec office. Hindi ba pwedeng may option na full online registration, yung hindi na kailangan pumunta sa Comelec office?
Hindi po posible yun, Pia, yung online registration. Dahil nga ang required sa batas is kailangan personal yung appearance mo. Pangalawa, kukunan ka kasi ng biometrics. So yun ang hindi kaya ng online. But ang sa atin, yung online placement, let's say bago ka pumunta, pwede ka munang magpadala ng partial na application mo online para i-schedule ka pagpasok na lang. But on the actual registration, hindi po pwede.
Oo. Agahan na lang natin. At kung makapag-grocery tayo, siguro pwede tayo magparehistro. Ito naman po, Chairman, from Cuni Ledesma, can I get registered in my existing address as I used to be registered to vote in the United Kingdom? Pwede po, hindi po ba?
Oo, pwede. Kapag sa outside the Philippines ka at bumalik ka ng Pilipinas, pwede ko po magparehistro dito. Pero yung data or yung data mo outside, ma-erase na din siya. So, matatransfer ka sa Pilipinas.
All right. Comelec Chairman Sharif Abbas, sir, thank you very much for coming on the show. The stories that matter are front and center, but before you vote, you need to register. Advocating voter registration with former Comelec Commissioner Goyo Larrazabal and social media star Auntie Julie, alias or McCoy Dubs, here on CNN Philippines. We'll be right back.
So I go to the different provinces all over the Philippines, and pagpunta ako doon, I talk to the different stakeholders, local media, bloggers, influencers, local officials, encouraging them to encourage their voters or their residents to register and vote. Tulong-tulong to encourage as many people to register as voters before September 30, 2021. For those who are interested to register as a voter, you can go online iregister.comelec.gov.ph. Fill up the application form and appointment form. Pagkatapos, print out 3 copies back-to-back, Philippine size legal, and you go to the Comelec office, and at the designated time, you have your appointment. Now, pwede kayong dumiretso sa Comelec office. The Comelec offices are open nationwide, Monday to Thursday, 8 a.m. hanggang 3 p.m. Pwede kayong dumiretso doon. Just make sure you have a face mask, face shield, you bring your ball pen, black ball pen. Pagkatapos, you make sure that you exercise social distancing. Yung mga Comelec mo doon, they'll be happy to assist you. Wear proper clothes kasi they'll take your picture, they'll get your thumbprint. Kung kaya nyo pumasyal sa mall, pumunta sa restaurant, kumain, pumunta sa bangko, kaya nyo pumunta sa Comelec office para magparehistro. Kaya natin yan eh. Malayo pa lalakbayin natin towards May 9, 2022. Simulan na natin yung biyahe ngayon. Sama-sama tayo, let's get 4 million registered voters for that election. Kaya natin yan.
We keep the stories that matter front and center. I'm Pia Hontiveros. Welcome back to the program, rallying Filipinos to register for the 2022 polls, because in as much as every vote counts, every voter counts. Beginning February 20th, the Comelec will also accept voter registration on weekends or Saturdays. Front and center in this advocacy are former Comelec Commissioner Goyo Larrazabal and social media sensation McCoy Dubs, or Auntie Julie, who's also part of a group called We the Youth Vote. But let's begin with Goyo, who, as we speak to him, he is on the way to the Iloilo Pier because he is on the road, stopped by lang for a moment, combining two passions, driving around in his Land Rover at sinasabay ang voter education, and because of COVID, of course, still following health protocols. Goyo, thank you very much for joining us. And McCoy, standby ka lang dyan, ha? Goyo, as a former Comelec commissioner, you have plenty insight, no, that now propels this voter education campaign of yours. Share this with us, please.
Okay, what we need to do now is make people understand that
voting is important. Registering as a voter is so important. May sinabi nga nila na pwede magiging choosy sa 2022. Bago kang magiging choosy, parehistro ka muna, di ba? Kasi maski choosy ka pero hindi ka registered voter, hindi ka pwede maging choosy.
Okay. Interesting ang sinabi mo. Very interesting. You said it doesn't matter which side of the political fence you're on. No?
Yes.
It doesn't matter what your political beliefs are. That's not what you're interested in. You just want people to register.
Yeah, kasi it has no political color. Whatever side of the political fence you belong in, if you register and vote, you'll be part of the democratic process. You like the administration, you don't like the administration, you like one girl, you like one guy, you don't like one person. Importante yan, you register so your voice will be heard. Social media activism is good, but you need to take it a step further by making your voice count on election day.
Okay. Kanina kausap ko si Chairman Sharif Abbas of the Commission on Elections, and he was talking about how important it is to vote and how important it is to register early. Sabi niya, ngayon pa lang, magrehistro na kayo, wag na kayo maghintay ng last minute, no? And then he was explaining, napakasimple ng rules, no? So what is it about Pinoys? No? How do we convince people, whether young or not, mga deactivated or not, or transfer registration, how do we convince them to register and to do it as early as possible and not to wait for the last minute?
That's hard because there are two things that are problematic now. One is the pandemic, which I say that as long as you follow health protocols, you're good. The second one is the tendency to procrastinate. You do it, mamaya na yan kasi matagal pang period to register as voter. September pa, mag-register ako August. But by the time August comes, marami na tao na nakapila. So, maraming tao doon, ma-virus pa ako. Hindi na ako mag-register. So, how's best to encourage them? To make them aware that, do it now para at least it's one less off your to-do list. Diba?
All right. Thank you so much. Former COMELEC Commissioner Goyo Larizabal, who is on the road and on a campaign, actually on a crusade, I should say, to get people to register. Just stand by, Goyo. Thanks so much. McCoy Dubs also doing all he can to get people to register. So McCoy or Auntie Julie, COVID is changing the way people will campaign, the way we will vote, the way even, kanina nga, sabi ni Chairman Abbas of the COMELEC, pati yung filing ng COC, magbabago yan. Lahat magbabago talaga. Especially because of social media, no? Makoy, how important is it for young people to register and vote? Kanina, sinabi na nga ni Goyo, no, na pwede kang maingay sa social media, hindi ka naman pala rehistrado.
Yes, Ms. Pia. Actually, the importance of voters registration within the age range of, like for example, from 18 to 30 years old, malaki ang significance. It's very huge because we are forecasting around 44 million people na dapat makahikayat, no, na dapat makapagparehistro sila. That is why in We the Youth Vote, we are encouraging a lot of youth with the help from influencers, celebrities, and content creators to entice and invite their followers to go to the COMELEC, to go to iRehistro, and then magparehistro para sa 2022 elections. Now, for the past few months, there are a lot of initiatives already from the group, and there are also other youth groups, and of course from other colleges and universities. That's why we need more. We need more micro content creators or micro influencers in that regard, because yung mga micro, they are the ones na mas mabilis makapag-invite compared to the bigger ones. So we need more of you.
Oh, that's interesting. A call for micro content creators. I hope I got that right. Well, thank you very much for joining us on the show, McCoy Dubs or Mark Abarilla or Auntie Julie. Thank you. And also, of
Thank
course,
you
to
so much.
former COMELEC Commissioner Goyo Larazabal, who is still on the road and,
Thank
like I
you.
said, on the way to the
Still on the
Iloilo
road.
Pier. Kasi nga,
Yeah.
umiikot sa
Yes.
buong bansa. Still on the
Yes.
road. Thank
See
you,
you
Goyo
around,
and
I'll see you around.
McCoy. Thanks. The stories that, yes, we'll see you, we'll see you. The stories that matter are front and center. How the political landscape is shaping up 8 months before politicians declare their intent to run or run again in 2022. Keep it here on CNN Philippines.
You encourage everyone. You encourage your friends, no? Regardless of the school, of the social class, you encourage everyone to register to vote. You need to make your Auntie Julie proud, okay?
Welcome back to Front and Center. We want answers on the stories that matter to you. I'm Pia Hontiveros. Many looking to 2022 as a vote for public health and economic recovery. Whoever wins the seat in Malacanang will inherit a country struggling from a pandemic that killed over 11,000 people and rendered millions jobless. But whose names are we likely to see on the ballots come Election Day? Front and Center is veteran political strategist, also one of the country's most respected advertising executives, Greg Garcia. Sir Greg, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Well, let's begin with this since it is the latest, biggest news. The Presidential Electoral Tribunal junking the poll protest, the electoral protest of former Senator Bong Marcos against Vice President Leni Robredo. How do you think this is going to impact on the 2022, May 2022 elections and the campaign that comes before that?
Well, I don't know whether legally it's still appealable, but whether it's appealable or not, if I were Bongbong, I wouldn't worry. In the sense that if you look at the horse race polls that I saw recently, he was doing well in the numbers. The Marcos brand seems to be somehow strong still.
Doing well in the numbers for either president or VP?
I saw the numbers on president, his numbers are double digit. Considering it's a starting gate, that's not bad. That's not bad at all, given that he lost in the last election.
Okay. How is, Sir Greg, how is COVID going to change the campaign landscape? Because now COMELEC is talking about they're going to change the rules. There are going to be drastic changes. Well, the pandemic has changed everything anyway. It's possible no more pressing the flesh, no more big rallies, no more big crowds, no more gatherings like that. Perhaps small town hall meetings, more online campaigning. But from your standpoint, from where you are as a political strategist, someone who's been very used to the campaign, the way we campaign in the old. I was going to say the olden times, pre-pandemic times, kumpara sa what we foresee for May 2022.
Okay, I think there are three concerns right now, or three things that people should, or the politicians should consider. Number one is the shift in the economic and emotional mood of the voters or the people because of COVID. Second is the changing landscape of media and consumption of media. And third is the voters' turnout. I think it will be lower than previously because of the fear of going out as a consequence of COVID. So those are the three issues I think that will have to be considered in planning the campaign, which will happen in about a year from now, officially anyway.
Okay, a shift in battlegrounds from traditional media to social media. A lot of people say ang daming benefits and drawbacks nito. Kasi, for example, libre siya, it's cheaper, halimbawa, or it's easier to reach so many millions of people on social media. But at the same time, two-edged knife or sword siya because people get bullied, attacked, bashed on social media, and it can be very, very brutal, right?
Yes and no. It depends on how you treat social media. My own sense of social media now is that the people in the political business are really talking to each other. If you follow Pareto's principle, I think the algorithms is such that the 20% of people in the political field are talking to each other. The 80%, I think, are people that have not been reached. And these 80% people are there for fun, socializing, and connecting to people and discovering things. I have this feeling, and I see some data, that the 80% of the people on social media are not really being addressed at this point.
Parang meron na bang can we say kung sino yung napupusuan ng botante ng tao? Can we say that now, or it's anybody's ball game?
Okay, two things on my mind. Number one, it's always either every election at the end of the term of whoever is sitting, the question always is, what do people want? Change or continuity? So, second, if you're for change, what kind of change are you talking about? If you're continuity, what kind of continuity do you have in mind? Given that the president is enjoying, no other president has enjoyed this kind of rating, which is an average of about 85%. When you look at the SWS, the Pulse Asia, and the private polls that I've seen, it's averaging about 85 to 87%. That's high. So, change is probably not a good card to have right now. But continuity, then whoever is the candidate must define what is your definition of continuity.
All right. Okay. Sir Greg Garcia, thank you so much, sir, for joining us here on Front and Center. We hope to see you again very soon. Salamat po, sir. So make your vote count. But to do that on Election Day, make sure you're registered.
It's easy to complain, much easier to blame, or for some to turn a blind eye. But for the sake of our future, our children's future, and for generations to come, go out and vote. Exercise your right, privilege, and responsibility. But first, are you registered to vote? If not, you have plenty of time. Tuesday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Our vote, our voice, they matter.
This is Front and Center. I'm Pio Hontiveros. Thanks for joining us.